Hi and welcome to episode 62 of the This is Reportage podcast. My name is Alan Law, I'm the founder of This is Reportage and This is Reportage Family, and I'm a photographer too. Delighted to be talking to the fab Louise von Broek today. Louise was joint 6th in the world for 2020 on This is Reportage Family and number 2 in the Netherlands with 9 Reportage Family Awards and a Family Story Award. She's captured some amazing moments and she talks about 2 of her specific awards in the episode today, as well as so much more, including her top tips for getting better at documentary family photography, living on a working farm and how that's a big inspiration for her, lots about her amazing birth photography and Netflix synopsis game, funeral or farewell photography, how she captures the whole gamut of life from birth, weddings, family, and even the passing of life, and lots more too. Before we get on to Louisa, just a little note to say that I've just joined Clubhouse as the fab Priscilla Luca, who I interviewed on episode 41 of the podcast, invited me onto the platform. She's going to be interviewing me there on Saturday the 6th of Feb at 2:30pm GMT, which is 8pm IST. If you're on Clubhouse, it'd be great if you'd like to join us and ask us any questions. I've literally only just dipped my toes into Clubhouse this week, so I don't know much about it yet. But if you're like me and didn't really know anything about it until a few days ago, it's kind of a new social media platform that is all about audio. You can drop in on people chatting about all different subjects, totally live, and you can just listen, or you can also contribute yourself, asking questions, commenting, or just chatting to everyone. Annoyingly, it's still in beta, so it's invite only at the moment, and iPhone only at the moment too, but I'm excited to see where it'll lead when it opens up publicly into all formats. I'll be looking into hosting regular chats there, which may sometimes be with my podcast guests, or be talking about the points that come up in episodes, or they may be open panel discussions, general chats, or different formats. It'll be fun to see what we can do, really. If you like podcasts, and I'm guessing you do as you listen to this, I think you'd really like Clubhouse, as it's a bit like listening in on a live podcast, but one that is interactable too. I'll still be doing these weekly podcasts as well, though, of course. I love the fact that these episodes can be enjoyed at any time, rather than the non-recorded live aspect of Clubhouse. But I think it could be nice to do some live talks over there too. We'll see what happens. And if you are currently on Clubhouse, you can follow me there. My username is This is Reportage. And you'll then see the room that myself and Priscilla will be talking in on Saturday, 6th of Feb at 2:30pm GMT, 8pm IST. Or you can follow Priscilla. Her username is Priscilla. Right, enough of that. Over to Louisa. Hey, Louisa, how are you doing?
Hi, Adam. I'm great.
Good stuff. Thank you for joining me. It's lovely to hear your voice. How's things with you at the moment? Because you're in the Netherlands, aren't you?
Yes, I'm in the Netherlands, and everything is pretty good except for the lockdown, of course. But most of it is good.
How long have you been in lockdown for now?
5 weeks, I think.
Is it 5 weeks? Wow, over Christmas as well, was it?
Yeah, it started before Christmas.
Oh, man.
It will last at least until the 9th of February, but maybe even longer.
Right. Okay. Similar to UK, I guess. I guess to a lot of the world really are in it, aren't they, at the moment? It's mad. And how? Whilst we're talking about that, how was 2020 for you? You know, how did you cope, like mental wise and business wise? What was the year like for you?
It was pretty difficult because, all of the weddings were delayed for at least a year, some more. And I did a couple of births, but, we're not allowed to attend a birth room now. The hospitals are closed. Pretty difficult.
It's been a nightmare, isn't it? Were you able to photograph any weddings at all in the year?
One.
Just one. Oh, it's mad, isn't it? Yeah, I only shot 2, so it's just so mad, isn't it? Just who would have thought?
It's crazy, and it's something. It's good because for me it was also good to be a bit more at ease. I'm a bit of a workaholic, and with 2 young kids, that's not always a good combination.
That's true.
So last year forced me to slow down.
Yeah, that is true, isn't it? That kind of enforced, slow down, as you say. And I appreciated that as well. And being with my kids more. And yeah, over Christmas, a part of me was hoping actually that they wouldn't be going back to school because I do love having them around. Although it is tough though, isn't it? The homeschooling is tough, I find.
Yes, and especially my oldest is in primary school in the
Right.
first grade. He's like 4 years old, so he does a bit for school, but with the youngest, he's almost 2 now. It's you can combine school and the youngest one.
Oh, that's tough. Yeah, that is tough. Oh, wow. 4 and 2. Well, that's a handful at home. That is a handful.
Yeah.
My 8-year-old. So I've got 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. The 8-year-old is having 4 hours a day of homeschooling, which is quite a lot, I think. It's a lot, but it's all good. It's all good. Anyway, let's crack up. Let's go to your photography anyway, Louisa. And first, I just want to say a big congrats on ranking joint 6th in the world on this Reportage Family in 2020, which is awesome. So you won, I think it was 9 Reportage Family Awards and a Family Story Award. So it's an incredible achievement. So let's start with that. A big question. What are your top tips for someone trying to improve their documentary family photography? You know, because you're so good at it. What are your tips?
Oh, that's a good one.
Sorry, that was a big question as well. Let's start with a big question.
Yeah, I find it difficult to call myself good, but what I do is observe. Just watch and sit down and watch what happens. And sounds a bit funny, maybe, but before I go to an assignment, I already think about the photos that I want to make.
Okay.
Or the type of photos. And during the day, I always look for, how you say it in English? In Dutch, we say storyline. Yeah, I just go with that. I think of nothing else. I'm only think about the things I see and try to capture that.
Oh, no, that's cool. And so you do weddings and family as well. Which did you begin with? You know, did you start with weddings or did you start with family? How did it begin for you?
Well, I think it began for me a bit the same for a lot of photographers, just from hobby. And someone asked me to photograph a wedding. And so I started with weddings. And I always knew I didn't like the the standard portraiture.
I get that.
I always loved the candid moments the most. So I've tried everything to become better in that because that's the thing I'm best in.
That's cool. Oh, and you're so good at it as well. And I totally agree. You know, for me, it was the appeal of capturing, you know, those real moments and not setting people up, because I that is a different art and it is a skill to pose people, but I'm just not interested in that. It just doesn't hold any kind of interest in me.
No, exactly. It's also with my family. When I ask, sometimes I would like a nice post picture from my boys and my husband. But when I when I select the photos, I always choose the real moments over the portraits.
That's so true, isn't it? It's so true.
Portraits are not my talent.
Yeah, no, nor mine either. Nor mine. No good at that. No good at that. And so that very first wedding, do you remember that very first wedding then? How was that for you? Because had you studied photography at all or anything? Or are you self-taught? You know, what was your background?
Well, I'm self-taught with photography. A really good friend of mine, she's still my best friend. Around 20 years ago, she bought her first camera, and we were just trying everything what was possible and made yeah, we did our own photo shoots
Cool.
together, and then I realized I really would like a camera of my own, so I bought one, and started photography. I started photographing everything, from nature and people and stuff. Practicing, lots of it. And then, someone asked me to photograph their wedding. It was for really cheap, but the wedding was also really cheap. It was just a Monday morning wedding.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. And
you scared? You must have been scared.
Yeah, a bit, but
only a bit. That's good. Confident. I like it.
But it was just, they didn't expect anything from me, so that made it easier.
That's true. That's a good way to start, isn't it? When you don't have that high expectations. That's true. And I guess they liked the photos, though. I bet they liked them.
Yeah, surprisingly, they did.
And that must have given you confidence. So yeah, did you start doing other weddings straight away then, or did it take a bit of time, or what did you do next?
First I traveled the world.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, with my now husband. But
oh, super. How long did you travel for?
For almost 6 months.
Really? Wow. Cool. Where did you go?
From North to South America.
Wow. Cool.
Canada, the United States, Costa Rica, Panama.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a cool trip. It must have taken a lot of photos on the trip.
Yes, and that's where my love for photography became a passion.
Oh, that's cool.
And
6 months traveling with your now husband then. I can't imagine traveling with my wife for 6 months. I love her dearly, but that's a long time to be like.
Yeah, well, you definitely get to know each other.
Yeah, I bet. That's cool. So then after you came back from traveling, is that when you kind of thought you want to get really into photography then?
Yes, it was 2012, so we were still in the middle of the crisis financially. And when I came back, I had to start searching for a job. But then I thought, maybe in the meantime I can do some photography assignments.
Mm-hmm.
And
what kind of assignments?
Weddings.
Oh yeah. Did you start doing family then as well, or did that come later?
Yes, also family. Okay. But then I didn't know about documentary family in that time, so I just did the standard family photos. Still, people like them.
That's good. Always good.
Yes. And that's when I decided to start a business. And for a couple of years, I did it besides the job. I was a teacher, but when my oldest was born, I wasn't able to combine those two. So I decided to go with it and make photography my full-time business.
Cool. It's scary. Was it scary for you when you made that plunge, to go full time? So I remember when I went full time. It's a funny thing to do. It's a big decision to make.
Yeah, it's a really big decision, especially sometimes people around you say, do you really think you can do this? And there are so many photographers, and they don't mean to, but they make you their questions can make you insecure, but I am lucky that my husband has a agricultural crop farm.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Which you live on, don't you?
Yes.
Ah, that's cool. And you say in your This is Reportage Family profile how living on a farm is a big inspiration for you. That's cool. I can't imagine living on a farm. It must be really cool but different. What is it like living on a farm then? Because it's a proper working farm, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and there are really a lot of really good things about it. The freedom, the living with enormous amount of space around you.
Right. Yeah.
We don't, well, not really have neighbors.
Oh, nice. That does sound nice. That does sound nice.
Yeah.
It must be a lot of work as well, though. And do you help out with that work?
Yeah, and that's the downside of it. The farm is always first.
Right.
So when my husband has to do work, it's always first for everything.
Right.
Because, you depend on the weather. And sometimes things have to be done as soon as possible. And then, he goes, and it doesn't matter how busy I am. I have to deal with the rest of it.
Wow. And I bet you must have documented some kind of work on the farm as well with your
Yes.
Yeah, that must be really interesting.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. My husband is a third generation.
Oh, wow. Cool.
We live in a polder with reclaimed land.
Right.
And it's, the farm is now 70, a bit more than 70 years old.
Oh, right. Wow.
His grandfather was the first one here to to farm here.
Wow.
So there's a lot of family history.
That's really cool. Really cool. Lovely environment to bring up your own children in as well, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. For now, my youngest is asleep, but the oldest is outside with his father and grandfather, helping with the things they're doing now, probably.
Oh, that's so nice. Like 3 generations. Like it's really quite a romantic way of living, I think. It's really lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I love to capture, because it tells so much. When we started, my husband's mother asked if I want to photograph the how do you say it? Well, that my husband takes over the farm.
Okay.
How do you call it? I don't know the right English word.
Oh, no, don't worry. No, I think I know what you mean.
But because, it's pretty special, because everything we do now and the way we do it will be completely different in 30 years from now.
Yeah.
So, that's why I documented, to be able to tell our children or show them how we did the things around this time.
That's really cool. I think that's really lovely. That's really nice. Is it in your family at all? Have you got any background in farming or anything?
I have a couple of uncles with different kinds of farms.
Oh, cool. Okay.
My dad always wanted to be a farmer, but my grandfather didn't allow him to.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool though. Very cool. I like that. The idea of living kind of away from a lot of people, that appeals to me as well. It must be nice during lockdown now to have that amount of space as well.
Yes, but because we can always go outside.
That's really nice. That's really nice. You're not being tempted to kind of turn it into a wedding venue or anything?
No, we like the peace.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That would be the opposite of peace, wouldn't it? To have a wedding venue there. That would
yes.
Be Louisa, that's cool. Let's change tack slightly for a little bit. I'm really enjoying it. It's just lovely talking to you. But are you a Netflix fan at all? Do you watch much telly? I don't know. You sound probably too busy to watch any telly.
Well, in wintertime we can, because then there is time. We love to watch Netflix.
Oh, you do? Okay, that's good. Okay, cool. So I'm starting for this kind of this year of the podcast, just asking a few just a little kind of like fun quiz, little Netflix based quiz, where I'm just going to read like a synopsis, a description of a film or a series, and I'll see if you can guess what I'm talking about, which program or which movie.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? Okay, just for fun. This is a bit different.
I don't think I'm
We'll
not
see.
good at it, but
We'll see. It doesn't matter. It's all fun. All fun. Okay. You ready for the first one?
okay.
Okay. So this, I'll give you a clue, and this is a series. Okay, this is a series. Okay. So the description is: on his way home from a friend's house, young Will sees something terrifying. Nearby, a sinister secret lurks in the depths of a government lab. Any idea?
I have no clue.
Okay, no, that was actually quite a difficult one. So that is Stranger Things. Have you ever seen Stranger Things?
No.
Oh, have you not? Oh, that's so good. That's so good. If you like, kind of, have you ever seen Dark, the German series Dark?
No, also not. I've seen a lot, but
No, that's all good. But anyway, I recommend both of those. Stranger Things it's kind of like an 80s themed, kind of like spooky. Oh, it's just really good. It is good. Yeah, I recommend it. Okay, let's go on to another. Let's try another one. Okay, this one is a movie, a bit of an older movie. Okay. Okay, the description is, and maybe people could be playing along at home. I hope you like enjoying this. I find it quite fun. Anyway, so okay. The description is: when three friends finally wake up after a wild bachelor party, they can't locate their best friend who's supposed to be tying the knot.
oh, that one is easy. That's The Hangover.
Yes, good one. Yes, I like that. Have you seen? So you've seen it, yeah?
Yeah, I've seen them. I I love them.
Yeah, they're good, aren't they? They are good. I always think of that one because I go to Vegas. I've been quite often in the last 5 years for WPPI, and I always think of that. I always watch it before heading out to Vegas again. It's fun.
Yeah, Vegas is good.
Yeah, have you been?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I love it. 24 hours is enough, I think.
That is true, actually. That is true. Yeah.
But I've been there 3 times.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Just for fun, or have you ever been to WPPI, the big convention thing, or?
No, it was for fun. I've quite a lot of family in the United States.
Oh, cool.
And when I was 12, I stayed there for the first time, and they took me, although we weren't allowed to watch people gambling. And
yeah, 12 is quite young for Vegas, isn't it?
but we were there. I think it was just for fun, but there was just a great pool with a hotel and stuff, so it was great.
Nice. Oh, that's cool. It's a fun place, isn't it? It's fun. It's like the opposite of living on a farm, I would have thought. Very different.
Absolutely. That's why I love it. But I always love to come home because it's way
it's exhausting.
Yeah.
It is really tiring to be out there. Actually, I do find it tiring, but good fun as well. You should go one year for WPPI because you could put it through as a tax expensable trip then as well because it's education. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I was supposed to photograph a Vegas wedding last summer, but that didn't go.
Oh no, what a shame. I would love to do that. That must have been so disappointing.
Yeah, that was really disappointing.
Wow. How did you get that booking though? How did you get that booking?
That was a really good friend of mine. She wanted to get a typical Vegas wedding, but the whole trip didn't go through.
No, nightmare. Is she still going to get married at a later time, or?
Oh yeah. It was not really a first-time wedding, but a renewal of the vows.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool.
So she's still married.
Okay, no, that's good, isn't it? That's good. I'd love to do a Vegas wedding. I think that'd be just so much fun. Much fun. And like you, because I live in Cornwall in the southwest of England, which is, it's very there's beaches around and lots of kind of fields and stuff. So Vegas is very different to where I live, and that's what I like about it. Really, is to have that total difference. It's good.
Yeah.
Let's do one more Netflix synopsis question then. It's quite fun. So, okay, this one is a series as well. Okay, I was going to say, I don't know why I get excited doing this. This is fun. Okay, so the description is, after his business partner cheats a dangerous client, financial advisor Marty must devise a radical plan to save the lives of himself and his family. Do you know that one?
I have no clue.
No, cool. Okay, that's Ozark, a series on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, that's a Turkish series, right?
No, no, I think it is. I think it's American or Canadian. I think it's American. Yeah, but honestly, that's really good as well. So he kind of launders money for the cartel and tries to protect his family. It's very good, very dark. Anyway, that was fun. That was fun. Thank you for indulging me in that game. It's good fun.
Yeah, it was. I know a lot of series, but not those two.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? There's so many out there, and if I don't pick one that you've watched, then you're not going to have a clue. So, but all good, all good. But those are all recommendations as well. You know, if anyone's listening and thinking of something to watch at the moment, they're all really good. Stranger Things, Ozark, and The Hangover. If you haven't seen The Hangover, definitely watch it. It's good. Right, Louise, you do quite a bit of birth photography, which, you know, you've won quite a lot of your awards from that as well, and it's just awesome, magical stuff. You know, can you tell us more about your birth work specifically? You know, how did you get into it originally?
Well, originally I'm a biology teacher.
Okay, okay, that's a good link with that then. That's cool.
And I was always fascinated about what a woman body can do, and it's such a life-changing event, going through birth, and it's I still think each time a baby is born alive, it's still a miracle. Yeah. And well, it fascinates me. And to photograph it is a really true honor.
I can't imagine. I would love to do it, but I cannot imagine. I think, well, to be honest, when my own two kids were born, I think I'm a bit squeamish. You know, I was staying like right at the top end with my wife. You know, I don't think I could photograph one. I just don't know. I just don't know if I could do it.
Yeah, well, I don't. For me, birth photography is not about the actual birth, but more about all the emotions that come with it.
That's cool.
And well, I don't mind what I see. I'm also allowed in some hospitals to photograph C-sections.
Oh, wow.
And wow. I don't care about it. I don't think, for me, that's not difficult at all to see that.
Wow. That's very cool. That's very cool. But and it is magic what you're capturing. So it's, you know, as you say, it is a miracle each time, and you're capturing that and capturing such amazing memories for their family, for them, and for the generations to come as well. It is so special. How did you get that very first, you know, your first birth photography kind of? How did you get that?
Well, I asked. I really wanted to do it, and from a couple that I photographed their wedding, and she became pregnant, and then I asked if I could photograph it, and they said yes. I had a really good relationship with them, so well, yeah, that's how I ended up doing it, and from the first moment I was hooked.
Oh, that's cool. It must be adrenaline. It must be so exciting.
Yeah, it's adrenaline. It's exciting. It's really, really, really special. It's really difficult too because, well, I'm on call from week 37 and sometimes until sometimes for more than 4 weeks.
Wow, that is tough. I was going to ask about that kind of, that concept really of being on call like that.
But when you're on call, you are for 24/7. So when I want to visit family in that time, I have to see if the driving distance is okay.
Yeah, sure.
I have to be there within an hour, and
Wow. That's quite pressure. Does that mean you can never? I don't know if you drink alcohol at all ever, but that would kind of mean that you'd have to be kind of like sober constantly all that time.
absolutely, and that's why I don't do non-stop birth.
Right. Okay.
Because I really love a good glass of wine too.
Yeah, I understand that. So how many, do you know off the top of your head how many kind of births you photographed?
Around 20.
Wow, really? That's so amazing. That's proper special. Isn't that so cool? Honestly, I think that's amazing. Totally wonderful. And then how, just to talk about it from a business level, someone who's maybe interested in getting into birth photography, how then have you got more clients? Do you invest in like search engine optimization? Are people looking for a birth photographer in their kind of area, or do you get bookings through kind of word of mouth from other people who have had their births photographed? How's it worked for you?
For me, mostly word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And I could do better probably in the CEO section.
Yeah.
I'm not really good in marketing or anything like that, but I also try to network with local midwives.
Yeah,
We have quite a different birth system here in the Netherlands, because many women still labor at home.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, quite a high percentage, do they? Yeah.
Yeah. And during the pregnancy, you are controlled by midwives,
Mm-hmm.
and they work not. They are not working in a hospital, but in their own practice.
Oh, right. Okay.
And only the high risk birth, or when you become medical because you get a C-section or high risk pregnancies like twins, then you go to the hospital.
Okay. Yeah, that does sound quite different to what it is in the UK, really. Oh, so that sounds a really good idea to liaise with midwives.
Yeah, it's unique in the world how that works. But here we really believe in you having your own choice in what you want and the way you want to give labor. Being in control of your own body and what
That's very cool.
with it.
That is very cool. Have you ever photographed multiple births from the same mother? Like years later or anything, with their second child or third child or anything?
Yes.
No, really, that's cool. That's so cool. I just think that's so wonderful. It really is.
That couple, I photographed their wedding and their 2 kids.
Wow, both. Yeah.
They're really dear friends to me too. Now also,
proper magic.
Yeah, that's awesome, and they are great.
No, that's so cool. That's so cool that you're capturing so many important elements of their kind of life stories, their family life stories as well, which is just, it's awesome.
I like to call myself a life photographer because I photograph, a day in the life, but also weddings, births, funerals.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw that on your website, like, that you offer that as well, kind of like farewell photography, funeral, which I think is beautiful as well. I mean, yeah, can you tell us more about that? Just because, I think it's beautiful. It's something I've not done yet, but it's very interesting, and it's such a, I mean, I think it's fantastic how you're really capturing the entire spectrum of life there, aren't you? From birth, weddings, family, and kind of death. But yeah, can you tell us more about that kind of the funerals side?
Yes. Photos really can help with coping with loss. First, I thought that funeral photography was nothing for me. But then my grandfather died. And in the last moment, the family asked if I wanted to make some photos. So I did. I did bring my camera, and my grandmother still looks almost every day to that photos. The day itself, she doesn't remember, but the photos help her remember and coping with her loss. And
makes sense.
That moment made me understand how important it is, or can be, especially when kids. Younger kids lose a parent, or when someone young dies. It can really help. With the memories, with
yeah, sure.
things.
Yeah, totally get that. Oh, it must be. Have you photographed many? So after your own grandfather's, have you shot many others then?
Yeah, some. Last year I did a funeral of a man who was really important for his society, for his surroundings.
Okay, right.
He had was in different kind of boards, and he had his own company, and because of the virus, only 30 people were allowed to attend the funeral.
Okay.
So they wanted to have photos. So when they would do an in memoriam during the summer, when more people were allowed to attend, and they could show the photos of the funeral. So
that makes sense.
Then could see it.
And
I also volunteer for Stichting Stil. That's a charity that gives parents who lose their baby during pregnancy to give them photos, so they have something to remember the child.
Oh gosh!
And I did some of those reportages too, and they asked me to photograph the funeral too. Wow,
that must be so just so tough to do.
Yeah, but they are so grateful.
I bet.
So thankful for what I could give them. It's priceless.
Oh, totally. It's just wow. I mean, it's just such a gamut of emotions. It's amazing, really, what we can do, or what you're doing as a documentary photographer, as you said, full life photographer. It's amazing, all those different elements of life that you're capturing. So.
Yeah, and I think it's awesome that the families that I photograph, many of them I see multiple times, and you grow with them, sort of.
That's very cool.
It's the right explanation, but you make a connection, and when you when I make a real connection, it's also easier to make better photographs.
That's so true. Oh, it's very lovely. I mean, it's so cool. I think I don't know. It's funny to express in words, but just to think about it like this, because weddings are just one thing, they're just kind of one day, but as I've said a few times now, you're really capturing their entire spectrum of life. It's such a grand, epic thing, and it's beautiful, really. Sorry, just get kind of emotional. It's beautiful though. It's beautiful. It really is. It's awesome. And let's talk one of your specific Reportage Family Awards. Actually, a recent one that you won, I think, from Collection 3 that I really love. It's shot from above. It's black and white with what I assume is a mother, I think, holding her 2 newborn children, with her hands coming in from the left side of the frame, touching the woman's cheek. Do you know what the one I mean?
Yeah, I know.
And it's so beautiful. I just wondered, could you tell us a bit more about that specific shot?
Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorites.
Oh, that's cool.
I shot it during when I was with a sex show for the first time with a C-section.
Oh, was it? Wow, the first one. Wow.
Yeah, and well, the twins were laying there, and for the mother, this was well, she had a lot of bad things happen during the pregnancy, and this was well, yeah, a relief. And with the hand of her husband touching her this way, yeah, it made every reportage that I make, I try to make at least one picture that says everything. And for this one, it was this picture.
Oh, I can totally understand that. Yeah, that says so much in one image. That's like the epitome of family photography, really. The start of life in that one image and those connections between all those people. It's amazing. It is amazing. Wow. And I'll include that image if anyone's listening now. Head to thisreportage.com or thisreportagefamily.com, and I'll include that image. It's beautiful. It's it must be. Do you get emotional? Do you ever have tears streaming down your face as you're capturing these images?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I bet. Wow. Amazing.
Thankfully, I have a camera, but
yeah, that helps. I guess that does help.
But I get totally emotional.
Oh, yeah, I bet. I mean, because I get emotional just at speeches, during a wedding. I can't imagine actually seeing new life being brought into the world like that. And twins as well. So we spoke earlier about the squeamish side, and you're not squeamish. So that was fine for you? Was it being with that C-section? You were totally, that was totally cool with you. I guess with being a biology teacher, that's helped a bit.
Sorry?
Just so you said that was the first C-section, wasn't it? That you photographed? Yeah. So you're not squeamish at all in those situations, no?
No.
Wow, that's proper cool. It's so much braver than me as well. It's proper cool. And the hospital staff were fine with you photographing then, yeah?
Yes, actually with that hospital, we signed a contract with a couple other photographers that we are allowed
cool.
In the operation room.
Right, wow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's proper cool.
Yeah, especially no woman chooses a C-section. A C-section is always because there is a difficulty, or you have to, or I think a C-section is tougher than a regular birth because of the aftermath.
Okay.
And that's why it's also really important that you can have photos of it. Well, now it's getting better with how do you say it? They try to, with the C-section, they try to cope a natural birth with. They do it slow, and
okay.
Sometimes a mother can even catch her own baby.
Oh wow! Really? Gosh.
That's really something new, and not always done often. So mothers can see their baby being born.
Right. Wow. Wow. Well, man, it's such massive life events that you're capturing. It's just so, gosh, it's just a whole new world. It's awesome. Proper awesome.
Yeah.
Did you, with your own kids, did you have those births photographed?
Absolutely.
Oh, you did? Wait, really? Wow, that's awesome. That's proper cool.
Yeah.
You didn't do it yourself?
No, definitely not. but no. Especially for the first, I don't remember anything,
right?
Or almost nothing from that bird. So I'm really happy with the photos.
Oh yeah,
it gives me a time frame. It gives me, and it shows how strong you are in that moment.
So cool. It's so cool. Cool. Let's change tack again then, slightly, Louise. Let's change tack. Okay, if you had 24 hours totally to yourself to do whatever you wanted, and money was no object at all, what would you do?
Oh, good question.
It would,
Only 24 hours?
Yes, just one day, one whole day, but you could do whatever you wanted.
Oh.
I know it's a strange question, isn't it? I don't know what I would do, but yeah, interesting.
Well, it's a really difficult question.
It is tricky.
Yeah. Well, if I could have 24 hours just for myself, I would probably go somewhere with my camera, go photographing.
Oh, that's cool. Wow, you do love your photography. I love that. That is passion. I like that.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking I just sleep, I think maybe I just sleep for 24 hours.
No. Or maybe, yeah, I think if...
What would you photo? Is there any like kind of big thing that you'd really love to photograph? You know, I don't know, like a big event or a certain destination, certain country, or?
I have 2 dogs that are Finnish lab hunts.
Okay, cool.
They are bred to herd reindeers.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really? Wow, cool. Okay.
And I really, really love to go there with the dogs to see if they are good at it.
Oh, yeah, kind of like kind of remember from their genes of like, yeah that'd be cool.
I do with the oldest. I did some sheep herding.
Oh, right, cool.
Really, really good at it. So it would be awesome to see her in the snow with the reindeers.
That would be very cool. That would be very cool. I've never seen a reindeer. Oh no, I haven't seen a reindeer in the wild. Oh, anyway, that's very. I don't think people will be very interested if I've seen a reindeer in the wild. But I'd love to take my kids somewhere like that as well. Actually, do you get much snow in where you live at all?
No.
No, like never ever, or just very occasionally.
No, and especially not with global warming. But yesterday the day before we had some really extremely little bit of snow.
Oh, okay.
Kids had fun though.
Yeah, as do. So even if it's just a lot of hail, you know, there's a bit of ice overnight, they love it. But in Cornwall in the southwest of England as well, we hardly ever get snow, which is a shame. But yeah, I guess you don't want it as well, though, with being on a farm. I guess snow's not good when you're on a farm.
Oh, well, it is. And around this time, it's okay.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, now it's low season. So, it's not that busy now.
Okay, cool. Okay, another question, Louise. What does it mean? This is quite a big question, but anyway, I like it. I like these big questions. It's good. We have like real novelty questions and then big life questions. But what does it mean to be successful to you? You know, what does success mean? Because it means obviously different for everybody. So I'm just wondering, what does being successful mean to you?
Oh, that's really a big question.
I know. Sorry. It is, isn't it? I like it. I just find it very interesting, though.
Yeah. Success is for me, I think, being happy.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Totally agree. It is, isn't it? Surely that's that's the point of life, really.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
No, I agree. There's not actually much more to say on that because it's being happy, isn't it? It's so important.
Yeah, I don't care for money, but well, otherwise I wouldn't be a photographer.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's true.
Yeah, success for me really is being happy, to love and be loved.
Oh, I love that and totally agree. Couldn't agree more. What's the most bizarre or funniest thing that you've ever seen at a wedding or a family shoot or any kind of shoot? Is anything any weird or strange or funny thing ever happened?
Probably. But
I know you're put on the spot, aren't you? Like whenever I put on the spot, your mind just goes blank, doesn't it? It's so funny.
Yeah, I'm really not good at probably in an hour or so I can answer.
Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah, no, I get that. How is it looking for this year though? Now for you, you know, Have you got weddings in the books that have, I guess you do, from ones that are postponed from 2020? Have you got any family shoots booked in? How's this year looking for you?
I don't have. Well, for this year, I planned worst case scenario, so I'm how do you say it? Prepared.
Right, that makes sense. I think that's a good attitude for this year.
Yeah, I'm. Thursday I'm going to do a family shoot.
Oh, cool. Well, that's good.
I don't do too many now. I also don't want to risk it. My biggest fear is that I get the virus and pass it on to my parents or my parents-in-law.
Yeah, I get that fear. I get that.
And
it's going to be a better year. It's more hopeful though this year, definitely.
Yeah, I decided to do more free work now.
Oh, okay, cool.
To focus on what I do love most, and that I don't get rusty.
Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? It does make sense when you haven't, I get nervous before each kind of shoot, but when I haven't been shooting for quite a while, the anxiety goes up as well. Like, am I going to remember how to even take a photograph? It's a funny thing.
Yeah. And when I do free work, it's also getting my mind off the bad things and the worries. And photographing is the thing I love most. So nothing makes me happier than just go somewhere with my camera and capture a story.
That's cool. That's very cool. Isn't it so fantastic as well then that you've made, a proper career out of something that you just absolutely love to do? It's magic.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very cool.
That's something I'm still every day really grateful for, even in these times.
Yeah, it's so true. It is true. And that's a good question, which leads me on to another question actually though as well. Other than kind of photographic skill, obviously every photographer has to know how to use their camera and the technical side of it. But other than that, what skills or attributes do you think family photographers specifically should have? What makes a good family photographer? What, apart from photography knowledge, what other skills do you think they should have?
I think it's really important that you're good with people.
It's so true.
That they feel comfortable with you. Because, that's when they don't feel comfortable, you can't capture the real them.
That's so true.
Especially when you're a documentary family photographer. And
that people side is so important though. And is that something that you just found you were naturally just good at, or do you think it's something that you can learn to get better at, the people side of it? What do you think?
I think you can learn, but I think it's also really important that you have at least a bit feeling for it.
Yes, that's true.
I was a teacher for 6 or 7 years, something like that. And being a teacher teach me how to handle many situations and talk to a lot of different characters.
I bet. Yeah, I bet.
Type of people. And
what ages were you teaching?
12 to 16.
Oh, right. Quite old kids as well. Yeah, you must have a lot of different characters. And I guess you also have to interact with the parents from time to time as well.
Yes, absolutely. That was a big part of the job.
Wow. Which was scarier, dealing with? Did you ever get? Do you get nervous with dealing with some of the parents or not? No?
Yeah, well, most parents are okay, but one time I was really being yelled at by one.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah, that was not so fun.
that's awful. Oh, that's so awful.
But it made me understand why her son was the way he is.
Ah, yes, I bet. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, it's so funny now. As a dad myself now, and having experiences with the school as a parent rather than a child, you appreciate teachers so much more and what they must do and all the different elements of their job. I think also with homeschooling, you appreciate teachers so much more now as well. It's so tough. It's so difficult. It's so difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you say, that must have given you a lot of kind of experience with dealing with lots of different types of people. That must have been a good thing to have had.
Yeah, definitely. And being a teacher teaches you a lot about life. And well, I brought a lot of it in my photography. And well, I don't know. For everyone, is how you do it is different. But for me to be invincible in a wedding day or in a family photo or just a day with a family, it's I talk I talk a lot with the people I photograph.
That's cool.
In the end, that makes them forget about me.
Yeah. That makes sense totally, because it'd be the opposite. If you were silent, it would be kind of strange when you're so close to people in like a small room. Sometimes it's important to make them feel comfortable, isn't it? That kind of rapport.
Yes, absolutely. And also definitely for kids, when you give them a bit of attention when they want it, 10 minutes later they are doing their own thing again. And they forget about you. And then I can make the photos that I want to make.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in the picture. I want people look at me. I'm in the picture.
Makes sense. That's good advice, though. I think that's really good advice.
Yeah, and it's for everyone. It's different. If you're not that kind of person, then you should not do that, because that doesn't work. You have to really be yourself.
So true as well. Yeah, again, it's just great. It's great bits of advice here, Louise. I love it. It's so good. It's so true. That bit about just being yourself is just so important. Being yourself in every element of life, really, not just business and not the way you shoot, just every element of you. Just embrace you. I think so important.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. I've just checked the time. It's approaching almost the hour mark. So I'm gonna thank you for talking to me so long, Louise. I'm just gonna ask one more question. Let's go one more question, or maybe another one, depending on your answering this one. If you don't have an answer to this one, because sometimes it's not an answer to this one. But thank you so much already for talking to me. I've really enjoyed it. It's been really fun. But yeah, okay. So this probably may be a hard question, but can you think, has there been a certain photo that you've taken that's had some kind of lasting impact on you? Perhaps the impact has been on your career or your confidence or your direction or just an image that you've taken that's particularly memorable to you for whatever reason?
Oh, that's a good one. You really have. Well, the photo that I won an award with it too. That's the photo that the mother, she just gave birth, and her oldest son is watching Paw Patrol.
Oh, Paw Patrol. Yes, I know the one that you've taken. It's from above, isn't it? It's quite a high angle. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, tell us about that one. Yeah.
And it shows so much connection, love. But also it's real life, because that's how it works.
Yeah. My kids were only watching Paw Patrol yesterday, actually. So it's funny coincidence. It's funny. Oh, cool. Was that quite early on in your career, that image, or when was that?
No, this one was last year.
Oh, was it just last year? It's like, oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
So just the that is literally how old was the child there then, the newborn?
2 hours.
Is that all 2 hours? Wow, that's amazing. I love it. Yeah, and it's a serene image, but it's also family life in one as well. And as you say, proper real. It's cool. That
Yeah.
image, that is the image that comes to mind when I do think of you. Actually, it's quite iconic for you, I think.
Yeah, it is. For me, it is as well.
Proper cool. Does the mother has she ever spoken about that particular image at all?
Yes, she loves it too. It's actually she said we are your muse.
Oh yeah, it's true. That's cool.
Because with this family, I've won a lot of awards.
Oh, that's very cool. Oh,
Yes.
proper yes, a Muse family. I like that. I like that. That's cool. Ah, Louisa, thank you so much. It's been just so lovely talking to you, and thank you for your time and openness. And it's just been super.
Thank you.
Oh, no, my honor to have you on here. Thank you. And yeah, if anyone's listening now whilst doing their like daily exercise that you're allowed to at the moment, or I don't know what rules are for whichever country you're in at the moment, but do head to this reportage or thisreportagefamily.com, and I'll include that image that Louisa was just talking about, her memorable one there, and the other separate Reportage Family Award with the twins, both magic shots, and a link through to Louisa's site as well. And hopefully I'll get to meet you one day.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, hopefully. Just when all this is over.
Yeah,
it's
a big party.
Yes, definitely. We're going to do one because I normally do one for a reportage anyway. So we're going to do a big one, reportage and family, hopefully December, hopefully a majority of people should be vaccinated by then, fingers crossed we'll be able to do it.
If there's one thing I really miss now, it's going to a good party.
I totally am with you there. Yeah, totally. Awesome. Thank you so much again for talking to me, and you stay well, and yeah, hopefully I'll meet you one day.
Yeah, thank you, and same for you, of course.
No worries. Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the 60-second episode of the This Is Reportage podcast. It was so interesting hearing from Louisa. Really inspiring. I hope you enjoyed it too. Head to thisreportagefamily.com or thisreportage.com to see the specific Reportage Family Awards that Louisa talked about, as well as a link through to her website too. We also have lots more episodes of the podcast available, where we speak to family and wedding photographers from all over the world. If you're interested in family-specific episodes, then you can delve into our back catalogue and listen to the likes of Rowena Meadows, Katrin Kuhlenberg, Julia Rose Grime, Alice Chapman, Else Corsten, Anna Hardy, and more too. If you're not yet a member of This Reportage or This Reportage family, check out all the benefits of joining us, including an unlimited number of images on your profile, 60 individual award and 18 story award entries per year, invites to our physical meetups and parties, when they can happen of course, exclusive discounts, hours of educational videos featuring tips and advice from some of the world's best photographers, and much more too. We're super close to revealing the winners of our first collections of 2021 now as well. Really excited to announce them within the next few days. No poses, nothing staged. This is Reportage. And this is bye for now.